Raise them, raise them, raise them, raise them, raise them, raise them, raise them. Raise them, raise them. For the many, many things you have done, I have come to say thank you. For the many, many things you have done, I have come to say thank you. For the many, many things you have done, I have come to say thank you. Oh, for the many things you have done, I have come to say thank you. For the battles you have won for me, I have come to say thank you. For the victories you have given me, I have come to say thank you. For the many things you have done, I am like that one leper. I return with a loud voice. I know this start to come. Oh, for the many. Let's go, everyone. Oh, for the many. I have come to say oh, for the many. I know this start to come. So, get a neighbor. Hold the neighbor. Hold your neighbor. Hold your neighbor. Make sure you are jumping together. Oh, yeah, jump, 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 jump. Like fire, like rain. Let your flow. Like fire, like rain. Let it fall. Like fire, like rain. Like fire, like rain. Ah, yeah. Let your like fire, like fire, like rain. Let it fall. We are you. We are you. I can hear you. We worship you. We are you. We are you. Jump, jump, jump. We are you. We are you. We are now. We worship you. My life will know you. Elohim Adonai. Elohim Adonai. My God. Elohim Adonai. What a mess on neighbor. Something I gave by what are you doing now? Yeah, oh my Lord, baby. Oh my Lord, Jesse. Oh my Lord, baby. General, well, okay. Money, I gave by what are you doing now? It's amazing how you love me. It's amazing how you do me this. What's up? That's the money, so deep. Man, the blessing so deep. Oh, it's amazing. What's up? That's the money, so deep. Really blessing, so what I give me time. Tell two people, I want to dance. Give me just like a wrist right. I said, give me chance. I want to praise my God. Give me chance. I want to praise my God. I said, glad you know. see, come and see. Testimonies will share for you. I'm the star. Testimony, sweater, the number you are calling is not available. The number you are calling I'm not available. Now only God will make connect. The number you are calling is not available. What are you doing now? I am just. Oh, yeah, look at your neighbor. Something neighbor. Neighbor. Say neighbor. Say neighbor, neighbor. Do you know there is another fellowship in them? I know there is another fellowship in them. Money, what are you doing, sir? I am just. Tell your neighbor, say, make way. Do you know there is another fellowship in them? I know there is another fellowship.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Big Twins, Mario, I see you guys. Definitely hit the like button. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, the person you're listening to is DJ Miller, of course. Welcome. Let's hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we do go live. Of course, we go live time to time. Yes.
What do you know? There is another fellowship.
Hey, I know.
What do you know? There is another.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. All right. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Welcome back. Who else is here? Shout out to you again, Babes Wind. Shout out to Mario. Shout out to Dr. Adama. Welcome back. Yes, I took a little bit of a break. It's necessary. We have to do that every now and then. I took a break. It was kind of due, but then we brought in a bunch of clients, and then we wanted to take care of them. So I had to take some time off so I can make sure that we're actually delivering on all cylinders before everything breaks down. You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel refreshed. I'm back. We're back. And today we're going to be talking about Priscilla Ojo, who is getting more and more popular by the day. Every day that goes by, she's getting more popular. So today I want us to have a conversation. Very, very, very important conversation. And, you can consider this season 2. I don't know if you want to consider it season 2, but welcome back to the Prestige Hour. We try to come here at 11 a.m. on any given weekday. Sometimes we do weekends. But for now, just walk with me. Okay? As we're getting through this process. Babe Win said the break was necessary. Welcome back. Yes, it was. I needed it. So, but thank you to everybody who came to the backstage, who asked if I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you. I appreciate you and the rest of you. I know many of you were paying attention. I uploaded 1 or 2 videos, I guess, during that small break. All right. And to be honest with you, I was open to taking up to 1 month. But, I've been doing this for 4 years, so it's going to be very difficult for me to take 1 month off. So as you guys notice, even if I'm away, if I'm on client sites and things like that, I will still do the show typically. But we're back. So I actually wasn't on anybody's site. I wasn't here in our house here. So anyway, welcome back. Dr. Adama said, do you need help counting the client's money? Yes. Of course. Let's see. Natu, how far? Natu, welcome back. Good to see you. I miss you too. I miss you guys too. I miss you, Natu. Thank you. All right. So today let's talk about this Priscilla Ojo. There's a lot of stuff that we're supposed to catch up on. To be honest with you, a lot of stuff we're supposed to catch up on. But In this new season we're getting into, I'm going to try to limit it to, I've tried it in the past, we'll try to limit it to 1 hour so that you guys can get back about your day, so I can also get back to some other activities. So we want to keep it shoki, lobe, oge, shoki, get to the point, release what we need to release, get it moving. Occasionally we'll still do our 7 hours. We haven't done the 7 hour stuff in a while, but occasionally, okay, we can't do that too much, right? Because again, I want you and me to be productive, and I enjoy it whenever we do it, but dear, small. So as we were away, there were trending news that almost tempted me to come here. There was obviously Priscilla Ojo announcing their baby bump, announcing the expecting of their baby. Her and Juma Jux, Tanzania's Juma Jux. There was also the some trendy stuff around Femi Fanika. I was wondering why they're bringing it up, but my wife was just telling me that he got married again or something like that for the 6th or 7th time, something like that. I don't know, but that was Femi Fanika, the 3 times minister, Nigerian Federal Republic, minister to minister in Nigeria, in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Anyway, then of course there was the dragging of the Davido story, the trending news from Gislova, I think, something about somebody calling him out again. There was also that trending news, that made me wanted to get out of my shell, but I was like, I'm good, Then of course in that period, okay, I would like to see all of you guys take on all this trendy stories for that last 1 week that we didn't go live. I would like to get all your take on it, but today it's about Priscilla Ojo. But also there was the Blessing CEO last week, Monday, was on the Honest Bunch podcast, right? With what's the name of this guy? IVD, who was husband, the widower to Bimbo. If you remember, it was one of the biggest stories we covered here once upon a time. After that young lady, she got destroyed, unfortunately, by DV. We saw all the videos. We saw him being bashed in the head. He was showing some injury to the head, but she unfortunately lost her life. We saw that, but we saw Blessing CEO also come out to basically start taking sides with this man and taking sides against a dead person, and eventually got with the man and is about to marry the man. And somehow I'm supposed to hang out. I typically like to hang out on the fence. I don't really take a position that often. This one I'm taking a position, it will not last. If it lasts, I'm okay with being wrong. Okay. And if it lasts, it's probably a bad story. It's just too many bad negative aura around something that's supposed to build life, build nations. I'm talking about family, marriage. I just don't see it lasting. And not just that, I see it ending badly, terribly. And I generally don't say that kind of stuff, but yeah. And if I'm wrong, I'm okay with being wrong. We also saw Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man has been dragging Iyabo Ojo. He started by dragging by basically saying they've made amends and they've had like a private meeting. And I knew that he had something up his sleeves when he was saying that. Some of you can't read him from afar, but I can read him from 10,000 miles away. Okay, but he came out saying they had a meeting, and before you knew it, he started digging through the Mohbad's investigation again. The investigation is still live with the police, so I'm not sure exactly what he thinks he's doing. But to me, it looks like the goal was to exonerate, to whitewash Naira Marley and Sam Larry, and to basically destroy, tarnish the image of Iyabo indirectly without doing it directly. That's his goal. And honestly, he's doing it successfully. Thanks to, I hate to victim shame or victim blame, thanks to Iyabo Ojo for engaging it. There's some things that you should just ignore. If you react to Very Dark Man, if you enter his DM, you deserve all the disrespect that comes from that. After 2 or 3 years, you should you should be able to see this kind of stuff coming. Okay, the best thing you can do for clowns like Very Dark Man is to ignore him. The worst thing you can do is to engage him. One of the best things you can do is to drag him in court, without saying a word in public. Shout out to the Falano families. They thought it was over, right? It's not over. Okay, it's not over. So don't, you know, so thanks to her for making it work, because it didn't have to work. All you have to do with the Very Dark Man is to ignore him. But since she can't ignore him, then it is what it is. Even as of yesterday, Ogapolo, who is permanent secretary of fiance to Iyabo Ojo, has decided to also speak on it on Daddy Freeze's platform. Bad idea. Okay, bad idea. You see, when you have people like the Rattels, people that like lost chicken heads running around town and just moving and just they don't think for themselves, aka Nigerian average Christian, people that don't use their own intelligence, that don't use their own intellectual capabilities. All you have to do, shout out to Dr. Akmuki, yesterday was on Honest Bunch podcast, and it was talking about this type of Christians, people that basically are too lazy to use their brain. All you have to do is make them believe. If you make them believe, all bets are off. It's the same thing. You rattle those kind of people, those kind of Christians are basically the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. All you have to do is make them believe, and it works 100% of the time. When you have those kind of people, don't sit around and argue with them. Work. Even the scriptures itself talked about not arguing, like see, that verse has deeper meanings than just there is God or there's no God. It's about arguing about people's belief system, right? When people are tagged onto a belief system, an ideology that's not necessarily provable by logic, by empirical data, and then you want to go there and argue with them, and you deserve every disrespect that comes from that. Okay, so if somebody leaves me a comment right now, let's say we cover a story about MFM, Abi about Olukoya, Abi Dadi Adeboye, we cover those stories. If you leave me a comment, let me tell you what's about to happen. I will just leave a heart on it, and I will click thumbs up, and basically me appreciating for engaging the video, for helping the algorithms. Okay, because honestly, there's nothing to argue. It's belief systems. Once you believe. There's nothing to argue. And if your belief system tampers with my image in a tangible way, in a way that affects my business, my brand, I have only one other choice, and that's to go to court. I'll go to court. If it's that worth it, I should be able to afford the court. If I can't afford court, then that business or that brand is not worth it. Very, very simple formula. See? If your brand is not that big and you can't afford to go to a court, it's not worth it. Don't engage it. The only other thing I can excuse sometimes, if you want to troll for fun, don't troll with the channel that you care about, of course, because you can lose the channel. But if you want to troll for fun in somebody's chat, in somebody's comment, and they allow you, it's entertainment. By all means, I can't shame you for that. Feel free, okay? But usually it's not worth it, okay? So those are some of the stories I would have loved to catch up on, but today we want to talk a little bit about Priscilla Ojo. Priscilla Ojo got married, was it last year? It was a big wedding. Priscilla Ojo is daughter to one of our finest actress out of Nigeria, Iyabo Ojo. Iyabo Ojo, I don't know if she's an actress now or activist or skit maker or Oga Polo's wife to be, maybe never. Right? That's who Iyabo Ojo is. So she's somebody that actually I like following her story. Because she's somebody that obviously doesn't give up a fight, but everything is a balance, and sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. I don't always know when it's the right move to talk or not to talk. I don't always know that. I think for the most part, we need to allow the powers that be, the universe, allow it to do the heavy lifting for you. Don't overwork yourself. Why are you doing that to yourself? Instead of work on yourself, you want to fight all the battles. They work. Marriott says they're still in a mess. She responded, yeah, bad idea, And she actually debunked that she was the one that wanted to speak to Very Dark Man. I knew that was a lie. Okay? I knew that was a lie. But let me be honest, there was a little small doubt. You know how, weirdos, the problem with weirdos is not that they tell lies. That's not the problem. It's that they actually tell only truth. That's the problem with weirdo lames, people that lack social intelligence, emotional intelligence, people that lack how to read a room, people that lack soft skills. Their problem is not going to be that they tell lies. They don't have shortage of that. Majority of their problem is everything else but truth versus lies. So because of that, I'm like, he's lying, but he's the king of integrity out of Nigeria, right? So let's give a benefit of a doubt. So because of that, I said, maybe for reasons that we can't see, maybe they managed to put a meeting together. That's possible. Even in court of law, they do mediation, right? Even when it looks like it will always be a battle, right? They will do mediation because oftentimes it's a lot more cost effective for all parties involved. So I was like, he's lying. Now, he's a liar, but he's also a truth teller. Oh, I know. You don't see how that can be true at the same time. No, a person can be a truth teller, as in like they'll tell you everything black and white. But they're also liars because they don't necessarily know that they're lying, but there's lies in what they're saying because they have massive blind spots. So if you take their words on surface value because they're telling truth, you're probably going to miss the road. I'll give you an example. There was a conversation I was engaging, and a gentleman was like, the moment you start hiding your phone, right? The moment you start hiding your phone and you lock it, at that point, I will just break up with you. A man in his early 30s, no girlfriend. The way he talks, you can almost tell. Yes, some of us can tell that, this one is probably a struggle, right? Some of the rhetoric, some of the ideologies, the belief system, the mindset, you can almost tell, this one is a walking red flag. We don't say that out loud because we never want to assume out loud. You can pre-assume in your head. You can prejudge. You're allowed to do that. Forget me. Not allow. By default, you will prejudge anyway. Let's be honest. But your prejudgment will be based off of what you know too, right? Based off of how much work you've done on yourself. Because you can't give what you don't have, right? So of course I'm like, this one sideways. I asked him a couple of questions, whatever, And a young lady came out of nowhere, some of those women who try to, I'm a logical person, I can be logical like them too, yes, and the guy clearly said, what he said is very simple. He said, I once you lock your phone, that's it for me. And also you cannot be a Jesus baby. Okay, he didn't say it like that. He said once you start posting NSSS PPDDDDD and you post that every day on your social media post, that's a red flag for him. Okay, at the same time, and every other sentence he's talking about Olosho's his resentment for the breakdown in the value system and how women are all over the place causing problems and just causing chaos and just destroying the family structure, and how there's no longer any good women in the streets. If I hear three things in a row like that, it's very hard for me not to prejudge. I'm sorry. The only thing I always do as a rule of thumb is I won't say it out loud. I'm not going to judge you, and I will always leave room for benefit of the doubt because I can be wrong. So this young lady jumped out there and she said, I like that. I like that. He knows what he wants. This is an example of the truth. You can be a truth teller and you can also be telling lies at the same time. Because remember, it's based off of what you know, your mindset, okay? You can be saying things that are your truth, just your own truth. But in the grand scheme of things, everything you are saying is actually a lie. You see what I'm saying? So she was like, he knows what he wants. I said, no, that's actually the problem. He's telling absolute truth. Okay, if you are going by truth and black and white and ones and zeros, you're right. He's telling the truth, but is actually telling lies in the grand scheme of things. Meaning, in the long run, you find out that he also has a lot more to discover about life. Because again, especially if you're a close-minded person, you're not discovering anything new. So the more close-minded you are, the longer it's going to take before you actually discover the reality about life, the reality about the world that we live in. This world that we live in is a cold world, but life is beautiful though. So what's the difference between life and the world? Well, it's a dangerous world out in the streets, but life is beautiful because life is what you make out of it, right? You get to decide what you want to make out of your life. That doesn't change the fact that it's dangerous in the world. So if you're a walking red flag, you can become an easy target, right? And you will be preyed upon. Sometimes not intentionally. So imagine you cross paths with somebody who is a walking red flag, right? And they're a hurt person, but they will never admit that they're hurt. They're just telling the truth. I'm just calling it as it is, right? Of course, they're going to hurt you. Not necessarily intentionally. Will it hurt? Yes, it will hurt. Probably greater because this person will also present their best foot forward. So now suddenly you're confused. You're like, but how can you say you love a person and then hurt them? That's a jump question. Because you will be just as confused as me. Not really. But I'm not the average person. The average person will just be confused. They can't help you because they will say, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. The person cannot love you and hurt you. So another person said, oh, love doesn't hurt. I said, really? Love doesn't hurt? Are you sure about that? Okay, are you a Christian? So can you please juxtapose the idea of the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross and love, and the greatest love, the greatest love story ever told? Can you please? Then confusion sets in, right? Yeah, love cannot hurt. Okay, all right. I know they're trying to tell me something else, but now I have to be patient to listen to the story longer and longer until we extract the actual truth. It takes time. So, Babe Win said it was wrong coming on Daddy Free's show yesterday. That was not necessary. It's not necessary. You know, we've been talking about this from day one. If you guys recall, I don't know if you guys remember, just maybe a little bit over a week ago. You know, Burna Boy is always reminding of something that most people struggle with.
We go explain because no evidence.
Yeah, you go explain tired. Speaking of explain tired, let me stop. So let's get into this Priscilla story. Again, we're not gonna be too long here because I need to warm up too. I gotta get into the speed of things, so I can't talk for too long. I've got a few tapings to do today, some videos to do and stuff like that, so I cannot talk for too long. Mara says, last year, wasn't it 3 months ago? Non-stop celebration, was it? I don't know. You know, that's the other question that people might have. Like, when did they get pregnant? When, you know, maybe it will come up in my highlights here in a second. But anyway, they did get married. I know they have a couple of weddings. They got married in Nigeria. They got married. They did traditional quite a while back. So obviously they probably have been having sex long before that. And, you know, but anyway, bottom line is that they are married and the pregnancy is confirmed, you know. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of Gen Z people, Gen Z generation, not Gen Z go, but Gen Z generation, me included. One of the issues with a lot of their rhetoric is they try to separate relationships from dating, from marriage. Okay, now, obviously for a fact, those three phases, let me add one more phase because we actually help my wife and I actually help 4 different phases. By the way, the bootcamp, 21-day bootcamp is still live. You can access it from the description box or with the link. Just go to manofprestige.com. You can sign up for the 21-day bootcamp. It's $97. Anyway, people try to separate the 4 different phases that we help, okay? So dating, relationships, marriage, divorced. Any one of those phases, there's one more phase that tend to sneak in there somehow every now and then. That's the talking stage, right? A talking stage. So people always try to sneak that in, but on most forms, you're not going to see a lot of talking stage on anybody's form. All right. So now those 4.5 phases or stages of romantic relationships, they're different. Obviously, on paper, they're different, right? But the mindset that you need to adopt when it comes to marriage minded or long-term relationship minded, the mindset needs to stay the same all the way across the board, with one small exception. You have to leave room for growth. Don't come from a standpoint that you know everything, because there's no such thing, right? Until the day you buy, you will always discover, you will always learn more. Hopefully you're open-minded enough to receive it, right? Sadly, religion, the very nature of religion is close-minded. There's nothing else new to learn when it comes to religion. The same thing is true for people who are obsessed with culture. The very nature of culture itself is a moving target. Meaning, culture is a way of life of a people, right? So if a people is always evolving, what should you expect of culture? Or even tradition? Tradition can be a little bit more stagnant than culture, right? Because we can reference to something from 1960 and call it tradition. But you cannot say the same thing about culture. If you say the same thing about culture, if you say things like, oh, these people are destroying our culture, you're probably a stagnant person. You're probably a close-minded person. I myself, I am close-minded to a certain extent. The issue here is absolute, okay? The issue here is being close-minded and you're just not open to learning anything new. At least leave some room. Just maybe somebody did not know something about our very existence up to this last minute. Maybe we're discovering something in the next minute as we're moving through life. Just maybe, right? Why wouldn't you want to just keep an open mind? I know why. Because you're close-minded. It's a chronic disease for a lot of people. So, with that being said, with a little small room for growth, leave room. So, but mindset. The mindset, the same principles, as long as the goal is to actually have healthy relationships, long-term, sustainably. Why long-term? Because you don't really want to be all over the place like that. Okay? If you're all over the place, if you find yourself, you're always all over the place, you're jumping from one man to another, you're jumping from one woman to another, which is inevitable if you hang out in the dating scene for too long. It's inevitable. You will collect dust, you will collect residues, you collect what people call trauma, you will collect unnecessary diseases, not just physical or physically speaking, but even mentally. You will collect, you will just collect. Okay? Excuse me, guys.
Sorry.
That's what happens. So now there are circumstances, but there are also situations. There are things about you that makes you just last long and long and long. You just want to make sure you're engaged with that. How? Well, keep working on yourself. Don't overthink it, because some people overthink it. They get desperate and they just pick anyhow, or they start engaging the wrong content. Before you know it, their mindset is poisoned up and they can't see anything good about the world we live in. Okay, they just see red everywhere. If you are a person that sees red everywhere, you're a walking red flag. Okay, no, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Some people, they can't have 2 or 3 conversations about relationships without talking about DV or cheating, infidelity. Those are the topics that people are obsessed with. Okay, so now we're talking about Priscilla, right? She got married. When she was about to get married, we talked about it. We talked about some things, but now she's married, and now she's in the marriage phase. And inside of marriage, you have multiple different phases too, right? And now she and him, Juma Jukes, have decided somehow, some way, to expect a baby. They're bringing a baby. They're growing their family immediately. And there's a serious debate here that's going on, that's been going on for a few years, believe it or not, about when is the right time. How soon is it too soon to start growing your family once you get married? It's a conversation that we all can have as soon as, because again, regardless of where you are in the phase, we should all talk, we should all have some of this conversation, because it's a mindset thing. We're not talking about on paper. Yes, there are all the stages on paper, but I'm going to give you, see, the extreme end of this, the extreme end of romance is a talking stage. You met somebody, right? And you're talking about and you met somebody and you're talking and you're having a conversation. It's romantic. You kind of fancy each other. You might like each other, right? Maybe you're just trying to figure things out, but you're attracted to each other and you're even yet to go on a first date. So it's a talking stage, right? Why should you have the mindset of a marriage at that point in time? I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, now you've been married for 35 years, the other extreme end of it. Let's just give 35 years. You've been married for 35 years. Okay, how do I know? I have clients that have been married for 35 years and have one or two struggles here and there. Usually it's around communication strategies. Okay, how could people be married for 35 years and struggle with communication? Could make sense. What were you looking at when you were meeting that person? How come you didn't know the person in the beginning? Anyway, I just dropped the post. Shout out to Abby. Abby, I see you. Right? So what was that person looking at? What were you looking at that you married a person that you will struggle with communication 35 years into the marriage? What a question, right? It makes sense. Every question is valid, shouldn't it? There's no stupid questions. There's no stupid questions, okay? If you're trying to learn, if the goal, the objective is to try to learn how relationships work, in my books, there's no stupid question, as long as it's a question, okay? Now, if it's not a question, which most people having conversation on the internet is not questions. People just want to air their opinion. If it's not a question, there can be stupid opinions. So let me warn you, I'm nice, but not always nice. Okay. I generally will not look at the question and say it's a stupid question. Some rhetorical question, I'll just tell you it's a stupid question because I can read it already that is rhetorical. I know you made up your mind already. So when you're asking, I can tell. We know what questions are created from a place of you already made up your mind. Some of those can be stupid. Okay. But if the objective, okay, I can even apologize if you say no, I just wanted to learn. If you correct me, maybe because sometimes I'll jump ahead of myself and assume, right? Assumptions, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, right? It's not good to assume. So, but the point I'm making there is that questions are perfectly fine. If we're asking questions, just ask questions. So I've dropped a poll. There. Is it too soon? Is it too soon for a baby? And that's it's like an age-old debate, at least in modern times. Some people will say, hey, I want to wait 5 years once we get married before we start creating babies. Okay. I used to have an opinion around this. I still have my preference. It's more of a preference, not an opinion, really. Right? And but in recent times, I find that, like I told you earlier, sometimes I'm close-minded to a certain extent, right? But what I find is that you can't put God in a box. That's something we attempt to do from time to time. You can't put God in a box, aka you cannot put people in a box. People will do what they have to do. It's all organic. The evolution is organic. Shout out to Cool Mama. I see you, Mama. People will put their, they'll project. They will project what they feel on you. They might even call it stats. Oh, by the way, they will find more than enough statistics to justify any bullshit. They might even find scriptures to justify the bullshit. So anyway, you have the extreme end, which is talking stage. Talking stage. You're talking. And then you have the extreme end, 35 years old. They're struggling with communication. The mindset you need to maintain is the same. Number one is one day at a time. Okay, it doesn't matter if you've been in it for months. That's why some people say, I've been married for 35 years, and somehow the opinion is supposed to be valid. Not necessarily true. In fact, the only time I ask about your status is if somebody says something stupid, then Sometimes I will ask what the status is just to confirm what I already feel. Sorry, I know. I'm petty a little bit sometimes, okay? Just to confirm what I already feel, I might ask the status. But generally speaking, I don't need to know the status because honestly, there's more than enough people, very intelligent people that actually it doesn't matter what their status is. I won't need to ask. What they said made sense. But if what they said sounds like it came from somebody's ass, yeah, sometimes I might just ask, what's your status? Give me some context. Like, it's like asking for explanation. Explain that stupid point you just made, basically. Right? So sometimes we'll do that. And if you look around you, you will notice that's when people ask about status. Generally, people will want to respect your private life. They don't want to know your status. You made an opinion. It's okay. Everybody can know. Opinion is like it's like asshole. Everybody can have one, right? Until you say something stupid, and then suddenly they want to revoke your license to have an opinion, right? So the internet is a very interesting place. The mindset to sustain relationship long term starts with one day at a time. Learn how to sustain a healthy relationship for one day. It's iterative in nature. Learn how to sustain a relationship for one day. Now, sometimes you have to go into the past to pull out lessons. Even in project management or in any of your management courses, all that kind of corporate stuff, sometimes you have to go into the past to learn, right? The old thing about AI right now is useless without machine learning. Iterative, ongoing. It doesn't stop. There's no stopping it. So what will make me and you as human beings stop? Is coconut head. Is the number one destructive element in human beings when it comes to relationship. Pride, which is also obviously linked to unrealistic expectation. So I asked that young man I was talking about earlier on, I said, hey, so you want to see in the phone? Yes, now you have to be open. I said, okay. He said, because as I enter a relationship, my phone is open. Okay, let me wait a second. It's not about the phone. You have to think deeper. So you keep your phone open. Why? Not because you want to be open. You're telling me indirectly that you keep your phone open so that you can have a reason to ask the other person to keep their phone open. That's why. Because if you just keep your own phone open just because it's the right thing to do, it should be enough. You do the right thing, that should be enough. But you do the right thing with expectations, pride, unrealistic expectations. They are all linked together. These are the things that people are struggling with when it comes to romantic relationships. Some things might even work short term. So for example, you meet a young lady and she's like, yes, let's hold ourselves accountable. Let's hold ourselves. I can be accountable. I'm a logical. I was taught by a bunch of grown men crying, asking for respect on social media, right? I was taught that women don't like to be held accountable, so I should be held accountable. Wait until she starts having sex with you. I'll just wait. I'll be here, gentlemen. I'll wait. By the way, lack of accountability when it comes to people that are having sex is not one-sided. Men tend to struggle with accountability too. I said tend to? No, they all struggle. It's not tend to. They all struggle with accountability. So, mismanaged expectations, mismanaged pride and ego. Those are there together. Just join them together. Those are the destroyers of people's happiness when it comes to both short and long-term relationship, but most especially long-term relationship. So the mindset you need to have here, stop separating. When we are making points about how to stop separating, oh, it's just relationship is different. No, it is not that different. It's different, but don't make it different. Decide it is not different. How you treat your partner, somebody said, don't say partner, weirdos. Your partner, how you treat your partners in a relationship today, in one day relationship, it's a mindset. It's something about your mindset that helps you do it the right way. Same mindset is what you're going to need long term. Before you know it, life is going. Before you know it, there's 5 years, there's 7 years, there's 18 years, there's 35 years. Doesn't mean it can't break down at 35 years. No, it will break down sometimes, but you have the skill to rebuild things back up. You understand me? Y'all feel me? All right, so let me come to the chat, see if I missed anything. All right, so again, we're talking about Priscilla Ojo. So they're in this phase. They've decided. Again, I dropped the poll. Vote. Let me see what you guys are thinking about. I would like to know. Then I'll give you what my preference is personally. It's a matter of preference, and when I say preference, just take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, it's just preference. It's very useless. People's preferences are very, very useless. They are oftentimes, when it comes to romance, they're very far from reality. Okay, very far. In fact, I'm going to tell you a story of a single mother in a second. Here, let me read this chat. Let's see. What did I miss? Abby said, I don't really know if it's too soon. Different strokes for different folks. She's young, but also has achieved a lot. I just hope she's also mature and emotionally ready for this phase. Right? Good one. Let's see. Tokwe P. Shout out Tokwe P says, I think Jux was the one that is desperately ready for marriage and baby due to his age and past. And Priscilla is just blown away with the way the guys showed her love and she felt secured. My take. I agree, Tokwe. I agree a lot. You know, I was listening to Dr. Akboki and he said women, he said he doesn't do darling or dear and things like that to women because I forgot exactly how he said it, but basically women can multiply that as per usual. Okay, so they can multiply it beyond your powers. Okay, you know how people, that wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to say darling. Oh, when I touch your shoulder, I didn't mean to. Yeah, that's you overrating your intentions again. Told you it's the same mindset. It's the same mindset from day one to your intentions are overrated. You should have good intentions. You should be a good guy and a good girl. You should be a virgin, a born again virgin, all over, 10 times over. Okay, that's good for you. Clap for yourself. That's bare minimum. You're going to need skills when it comes to relationship between you and another human being. I know you're supposed to be one, but you need skills. This is where people struggle. Anyway, so I agree with you, Tokwe. Absolutely. In terms of is Jukes desperate for a baby and stuff like that? Hey, listen, the same thing you do to women or do for women to make them fall in love with you is what you're gonna have to keep doing. You know what we do as human beings? We get complacent. See, finish is a bastard. We get tired. We don't always know it. We're just trying to do life. Some of us lie to ourselves. Say it's duty. It's duty. Why would you get inside of a marriage and then suddenly change? Yeah. So, oh, she punished you with sex. Oh, by the way, that's the number one way that women cheat. Weaponizing sex. However, gentlemen, you don't want to look at it that way. If you look at it that way, it will get worse. Okay? But that's the number one way that women cheat inside of marriage, withholding sex. So yeah, it's real. It's real. Toby and Tribe, shout out to you. She said, with pregnancy, man proposes, God disposes. Sometimes when you want it, you don't get it. That's a good angle. And so if it comes and you're capable, just thank your stars. You're jumping ahead of me, Toby and Tribe. That sounds so close to my preference. It's not a real preference, but it's somewhat of a preference, you know? Speaking of preferences, so this young lady, she says she's in her 40s. She asked me a question. She said, well, she came out of a marriage, a very bad marriage, you know, the way she described it. Sounds like she called it loveless marriage. Everybody that came out of a bitter marriage think their marriage is loveless. They all think that way, all of them. Some are, but the minority are. The majority is not loveless. It just feels that way. Now, after I don't show each other shiggy. Yeah, it's I know, it's tough. When you come out of a marriage and you suddenly realize that person, you didn't realize that person hated you this much. Is it me that will not convince you otherwise? I understand why you feel the way you feel. Anyway, she described it, and now she thinks that she can only get with only white men. That she's not looking for anything. The only thing she's looking for for is white men, a Caucasian man. She's looking for a Caucasian man, and that's it, and no more, no less. And she swore that her 2 daughters, that they will never get with a broke man, that it is a thankless job to help a man that she does not want to raise. She said not Bob the Builder, neither does she want to raise a Barbara the Builder. So she's warning our girls, if a man is broke, don't get with that man. Are you shocked?
He shock you.
All right, so anyway, so after she said all that, she finally got to the question. She said, because she saw me, shout out to Uncle Menu. She said she finally got to the question, which is, but people are saying it's only leftover Caucasians that will end up with someone like her. So she's been listening to a room full of men with certain ideologies, you know, and most of them, obviously, they are dragging single mothers. And so she was wondering, like, they are saying, as a single mother, this and that most of our brothers don't want single mothers. So what do I say about that? So I've told you guys a story here before, but I won't be able to tell you guys today. That again, the point here is this: preference. We all have preferences. An average man, young man, his preference is to not be with a single mother. It makes sense because some of you single mothers will train your sons to not be with a single mother. It's just society. Preferences are not designed to be fair to you. People have their preferences. It is what it is. But also, one thing you should know about preferences is that they are very far from reality. So at some point, all of us will settle down. Not settle for less. You attracted what you attracted. You attracted you. Okay? You didn't settle for less. You settled down when you deemed it fit to settle down. Somebody said, but it was arranged. I didn't really, it wasn't my choice. You settled down. At that point in time, I hope you are well equipped to navigate the rest of your life. I hope you know that you have to invest in yourself to navigate the rest of your life, especially in 2025. You see, we used to be able to wing things. When I got married in 2007, I was winging things for the next 8 years. I'm one of the lucky ones. I was able to wing things through 8 years, right? Some people are lucky. Well, you're not going to be as lucky anymore because people know way too much and people think they have more options than they actually have. So in other words, they will shoot what you guys are cooking first before they realize that the options are terrible out there. Guess who go hurt? Everybody involved, especially the children. So I'm saying that to you just so you know that, again, preferences are very, very far from reality. Same thing is true when it comes to, should you do it too soon? Is it too soon? Is it too late? Should you just date each other for the next 5 years? When people say, I say, let me guess, you're the one deciding that it will happen suddenly in 5 years. If it doesn't happen, we just go to the labs. Okay, I hear you. Have you spoken to people that have been going to the labs? How easy that is. It's so easy, right? Just go to the labs and just impregnate yourself with a baby. Voila, you end up with the twins. You're like another Femi Fanikari. Is that how it works? Okay, maybe technology will help us to that point at some point. Okay, maybe technology will help us get there sometimes. Somewhere in the future, we're not yet there. I don't know if we'll ever be there. Okay, but anyway, that's what I have to say about that one. Let me see here. So let's say Abby says, stop where P. A lot of women of Priscilla's profession fear that they aren't taken seriously by men due to rumors and stereotypes of them sleeping around. I can imagine that she also jumped at the opportunity. Yeah. But you know, you're going to get into a space in marriage where you will doubt your decisions. No. It's not just some of you. It's not those of you that didn't ask the right questions. It's everybody. Ola, speak for yourself. Okay. It's everybody. You will get into a space inside of that marriage where you will question your decision to get with this person. You won't even remember this moment. You will only remember this moment that I'm talking to you if if God has blessed you and you're fortunate to get through that crisis and you're on the other side, and then you can relate with the sentence I just made. Like, truly, I didn't know shit, right? You're going to go through that phase. It's not just marriage, by the way. In life, you will go through a phase. Many phases where you question your decisions. You question yourself. What do you typically do at that point in time? You point fingers. There's usually somebody close enough to you who has also been playing they've been playing the role of a narcissist very well. You can't tell us nothing. They were in fact a narcissist, where they were the environmental factor. You are who you are. Okay, so that's going to happen. So at that point, you will question a lot of your decisions. So the same thing is going to be true for Priscilla, and also everybody who was close enough to age with June will question themselves. Now, does that negate the fact that the age distance, which is what people are talking about, I think they have like 10 years apart? No, it doesn't negate it. I generally don't. My preference is that people don't marry people with too far age distance. But oftentimes, by the time you're giving this advice, it's too late. You can't tell them nothing. They like what they like. Yeah, they like what they like. So it just So what I settled for teaching people how to build the relationship that they want. Starting with, you like a person, they have the bare minimum character that you prefer, right? Based on your moral standards. But from that point is where you start. That's the ground zero. Now you need skills, actual skills, to navigate that relationship. So now the cross that you're being bared to carry is going to be varied from people to people. For someone like Priscilla, she also has to carry the cross of being the celebrity, the noise, learning how to separate the actual signals that matter from the noise. That's going to be a major weight that she has to carry. We all have to separate noise from signals, all of us. But obviously, if you're a celebrity, now a lot of your energy, which everybody have limited amount of energy, has to gravitate towards managing that. It's a big deal. It's very big. So hopefully, like you guys are saying, that she has enough to be able to navigate that. Hopefully her mother is equipped. I don't think so. I don't think Iyabo Ojo is equipped well to help her navigate what she'll be going through, because Iyabo can just come home. She doesn't remember the reason why she's not going to marry Ogapolo. She doesn't have to answer to anybody. She has to answer to that Muslim husband. You can't give what you don't have. Hopefully she has enough people in our community to help her navigate that. When you had the layer of pregnancy on top of it, oh, babies are beautiful. They are a blessing, truly. I know, because I've done it quite a few times. As a matter of fact, I just dropped my son. One of the things I took time off is I dropped to me in college for a college trial 1 week, right? So I've been doing this for a minute, right? So we have to navigate this. That's also a form of relationship. Same skill set in terms of navigating relationship between you and your young adult children. Oh no, just don't spare the rod, just use the rod. In 2025. Okay.
Sorry, yo.
That's what's wrong with y'all. Everything is westernized. Everything is modernized. Me, I decide I will not westernize anything in my life except this phone that I'm using to listen to you. I will not be westernizing anything. Anyway, let me round up. Oh God. Gen Z shared their geolocation is normal for them. Thank you. As of relationship is not an audition for marriage. Uncle Benno, shout out to you, brother. Good to see you, sir. I've always thought couples getting pregnant immediately after marriage is not helpful, but now I think it makes little difference on the success of the union. Yes, it does have an impact. Exactly, Marriott. It does have an impact, but in the grand scheme of things, like, I don't know why I had to do my nose like that, but you know, So that's why I laugh when people try to make that a thing, you know. Let's see here. I see Uncle Beno is in the studio with me. All right, let's see. Bella says, Oga, you don't get money. Now, why? Okay, all right, you're right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. To me, it's doing a college trial. Uncle Beno, talk to me, brother. Let's round up together. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, MOP Baba, how far now?
Adele, where you day? You told me you did on vacation. Now you did find you out there.
Only me they do vacation first. Now tomorrow I go carry on go.
Your signal. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him? Sometimes StreamYard be acting up. Let's see. Let me see. I missed something. Let me see. Why is it not showing up in my studio? MOP, you don't see it for this couple. No, this couple, I think they're gonna be fine. You know, I think if they have the right support system, I think they can be fine. Absolutely. Uncle Bello, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, call came in.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
basically, I missed most part of the show because I woke up late and then I entered and I say you don't dey deal with this topic. But I just wanted to ask if you covered this nonsensical narrative Auntie Kemi put out there about this innocent girl.
So, a couple of things. There were two people that gave out two nonsensical narratives. Thank you for bringing that up. Let me just do a quick summary of it, and then you can speak to it. Auntie
Yeah.
Kemi is saying that it's surrogacy. When I saw that, I just said, "Ugh, we really doing war, Uncle Beno." I'm sorry. I can't take her too seriously. You know, she said it's surrogacy. She might have spoken a lot to it, but I saw the headline. I said, when I see something, I just pass, you know. I just jump and pass.
Yeah.
But the second one is very dark, man, exposing the chat between Iyabo Ojo and the people that were fighting for justice for Mubad. Very dark man said he was reading out some of the chat that the only reason, his interpretation is that the only reason why Iyabo Ojo was mad at Naira Marley was because, in fact, Naira Marley had allegedly violated, drugged and violated Priscilla, her daughter. And she was very angry with that, but she won't tell the whole world the truth. And that's why she wanted the downfall of Naira Marley from the very beginning. Now, again, entertainment for me, I'm sorry. Sadly, you know, because I don't know what to make out of it, especially when a lot of things is saying there's no real substance in terms of any new discovery. Even the timeline, like for example, Ogapolo was saying on Daddy Free Show yesterday that Naira Marley was not in town when Mohbad was spied, right? I knew that from like 2 years ago. So where's the new information? So now suddenly he now knows. Maybe Ogapolo did not know and he discovered somewhere between that time and now, and he's saying it for the first time. But that was a moment for the rat. Was like, So they only wanted to bring down Naira Marley. So again, I use those things. I just cruise. It's very hard for me to spend too much talk. But I would love to hear your take on this, Shao. You know.
No, basically, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not interested in whatever they got going on with that Mohbad story. It's they make a mess of it. They make the mess of it. They are all wrong as far as I'm concerned. Very dark man, Iyabo Ojo, Toto DK, all of them. Even though it seems like they have a good motive initially, they actually wanted the justice and all of that. But the
Right.
way it turns out, those folks, they are all bunch of nonsensical human beings. I'm so sorry, but I have to put it like that. It turns out they are actually profiting from the demise of
From the
Mohbad.
noise.
So yeah, so even right now, my guy VDM is pissing me off with whatever he's doing too. While I like the fact that okay, he's keeping the energy out there, because people really want to have justice for Mohbad. But right now, what he's doing is more or less like vengeance. He's like is this kind of guy that is still looking for a pound of flesh he want to take from all the people that drag him there. So I've
Yeah.
been very dark man supporter, but right now he's acting somewhat stupid to me. So I don't really want to get into that. The only person that just concern me right now is this Priscilla. Like I've always said, as a dad myself, I do understand that these young folks, the life they are living, we the parents, we created that life for them,
Yeah.
and this is their lifestyle, this is their thing. So how come um Sister Kemi Olunloyo always try to drag that innocent girl? Whatever the girl do, she will just turn her camera and started talking. That sister need to go and get healed.
Yeah.
She definitely, somebody, I don't know. Well, that's it, sha. Because most of these aunties that claim they know too much, what they end up doing is they chase everybody away from them, then they become isolated. So the only solace they have is to go to the internet and be talking to the fans that they thought is now their family, who are actually there to even laugh at them.
To just laugh.
You
Oh
know,
God.
so that apparently that auntie is something is wrong with her. If you have problem with Iyabo Ojo, let her go after Iyabo Ojo. Iyabo Ojo can speak for herself.
Oh,
Not
Uncle Beno, there's one more person. Listen to this. There's one more person. I want you to speak to it too. Listen to this.
And Iyabo Ojo. Let's see. See.
Àbímọ láti Tanzania àkú ewu ọmọ. Àná wájú májú sí òdá ìlú ẹ̀ rárá. Bàbá wọn ti lọ wáyé àti bímọ o. Àbímọ o. Orí àǹtí Lizzy tó ti gbóná wá. Orí àǹtí Lizzy ti gbóná wá. Ó ti gbọ́.
Kí ló kàn mí? Kí ló dé tí orí Lizzy ṣe fẹ́ gbóná? Nítorí pé ọmọ Ìyábọ̀ Òjó tí ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Ìyábọ̀ Òjó tí yẹ ẹ̀yà wèrè for 30 years. Ìyábọ̀ Òjó tó ń ba yé àwọn èèyàn jẹ́ gba donation. Kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ ṣe rò pé orí Lizzy ló fẹ́ gbóná? This is how Ìyábọ̀ Òjó has ruined a lot of people. This is how Ìyábọ̀ Òjó has ruined a lot of glorious children in this society. Ìyábọ̀ Òjó is a cancer. See how Ìyábọ̀ Òjó has disseminated what to say into this their own group. She's into another group, another WhatsApp group with this thing. What did Iyabo Ojo push into society yesterday? She lied that her daughter gave birth and they need to use my name for donations again. You remember that since few days ago, they've been doing their rubbish. The Akim Befuro here started it, and one guy, no, rice. This guy, and I watch your video now, where you cause the new Bombay.
Okay, I won't replay that more than that, Uncle Beno. That's Liz Anjorin directly wishing death upon these people. All of them, all generations, all 3 generations.
as much as I don't fancy this Lizzie Anjorin and all the nonsense she got going. I've said something about her case before, that Iyabo Ojo, she has gotten into goes with too many people. You know, I don't used to be a fan of her until after her daughter's wedding, and she allowed the father to play a good role. That's how she won me over. I've never been like one big fan of her, because I've always said this, and I think our sisters here at the Prestige Farm would have heard me say this so many times. Iyabo Ojo cho, pa, 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 no restriction, no filter. You cost me, I yab you.
Right.
It's too much. As much as our people don't want to admit it, let's cut bullshit out where we say it. It's too much. That is the lifestyle that is ruining a lot of, I'm sorry to say, a lot of people, ladies in Nigeria now, is ruined them. Everybody thinking I get mad, I can talk, I can talk. You can tell me this, I know this. Oh, yeah, Oshe with it. You do with it, I go do with it, match it with it. It was everything get repercussion, especially when you have children.
So essentially, people are living in a glass house and they're throwing stones.
Yes, that's what it means. Social media, social media. Oh, let me go there. You drag me, I drag you. Yeah. It's bullshit. You have children. The only thing that concern me now, this innocent young girl. Honestly speaking, initially when Priscilla was posting, doing all those things, I wanted to this girl. Then I realized that waiting at the talk, self. I get daughter where she self they do and they say, hey yo, yeah. I'm like, this is who they are. This is their life. But my problem is that Yabo just fought. She don't get that goes with too many people. And because she herself, she's a strong woman, many of them now choose to go after her daughter. Now the one where they vex me with that. And now the one where they told them put your mama for nothing. You see. Why don't you attack the mama when you with and they get problem? Why always this girl? She get belle. Oh, surrogacy. She born pikin. Wahala. Any problem with you? You know, she born motinyi sita. Come on, you know, my flex carry. That is just my own anger.
Yeah, it's a sad reality of where we find ourselves. Everybody think they are free until they are not free, so they run their mouth on the internet.
That's just my own anger. Like, let this girl enjoy her life. But they ain't balancing. Why the last when I destroy marriage, your man, or no, the nigga for in Jesus' name, that will not never happen. But she ain't balancing. They are taking it too far. Hey, you talk camera, you just talk without filter. That's what I keep telling our women. All this I know too much. I sabi me. You talk to me, I talk to you. I'm an independent woman. Everything get repercussion. Well, that's my take, Gary MOP.
Thank you so much, Uncle
I thought
Beno.
you covered it before. I didn't hear it. That's why I'm like, let me come and ask if you've really done something about it.
Yeah, I vibe with the show, so I was just ranting on, and some lessons were come, so I decided to just focus on that. But thank you for bringing it up. It's a very good lessons for us to pay attention to that.
Yeah,
But thank you, Uncle
Baba.
Beno. All right,
Yeah.
talk soon. Yeah.
All right, I'll be take care, Mama.
Yeah.
Hi, Uncle Benno. See you later.
All right, Uncle Beno, do you have a show later? He left. All right, just say it in the chat if you have a show later, so we can come and support. Abby, talk to me. What's going on?
MOP.
Hi, good to see you.
Thank you. I'm eating one very hot stew.
Eh?
My mouth is
Obeata,
yeah. Anyway.
just by itself?
No, with rice.
Okay. Wait, right. You say rice and stew.
I didn't.
Did you don't have to do on it?
Yeah, there's dodo as well.
Ah,
And
nice. Okay, I'll go and bother my madam upstairs after the show.
Anyway, I want to say that I think it's worth remembering that whenever Iyabo, just like Uncle Benno said, whenever she puts under her black bonnet and does her bonnet series, Iyabo Ojo is ruthless. Watch those shows. Most of the time they're in Yoruba.
I only see the clips that make it to Insta blog Niger.
Yeah, same. I think because she thinks they're in Yoruba, she doesn't understand that, maybe she doesn't realize that it gets to more people. Once Iyabo starts Yoruba like this, she's very ruthless. I need to remind you that she came for Dr. Kemi's son, calling him an imbecile.
Right.
Now, in my opinion, Kemi has done enough. She has also insulted Priscilla. She has given all sorts of opinions. It's time to move on. By the end of the day, it was Iyabo that came for Kemi's child first.
So she started it first. But
Yeah.
what was the what did she? I have a very, you could be right, but I have a very difficult time to believe that somebody came for Auntie Kemi first. She tends to be the one to come for people first.
They've been fighting, as we know, for years. And like I always say, one thing about Dr. Kemi and Iyabo Ojo is that they like each other. Clearly, they like each other, and they're currently just fighting because Dr. Kemi has found ways to also reach out to her and advise her and congratulate her But I think it's just a case of just like, tick for tax, my opinion.
Okay.
So Dr. Kemi comes for Iyabo or provoked, but not her children. That children one, it was Iyabo.
I see.
It was a comeback, but it was a bad comeback. That's all I'm saying. So no, I'm not saying that they've not been coming at each other, but who brought children up first? It was Iyabo Ojo that called her son.
Right, there's something about the autistic children and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I think I've seen
and
that
as you
somewhere.
know, we that even live in this part of the world, we know that a lot of children can be on the spectrum. Children can have a disability.
So easy.
But
Yeah.
we don't call imbecile is actually insulting. We know. This is so obviously I know for Nigerians they might think that it's just a description. Same thing with like dwarf, right? Same thing with dwarf, but in this part of the world we can't say dwarf. It's actually insulting. You say
Absolutely. You can't say you also can't say deaf and dumb.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So we say special needs, we say little people. So imbecile is insulting, and that was when Kemi now started coming for her own children. However,
Right.
remember that Dr. Kemi came to be a journalist, investigative journalist. So any small thing she brings agenda. Same thing with this one now that she's brought with surrogacy as well. So it's just even things like this where it might not be direct insults, but Iyabo could take offense. Because why are you saying, in our culture, surrogacy suggests that there's something wrong with her.
Some people, so Jum is saying no, Kemi comes for Iyabo first. To Dr. P saying no way, Kemi came first.
Not on the child issue, on other issues. Yes,
on the other issues. Okay, so just the targeting the children was started by
Iyabo. Sorry, Dr. Kemi has said stuff like, again, all this her nonsense that she says she went to chill with Naira Marley, all this kind of talk. But to outrightly insult a child, it was Iyabo that said that her child is an imbecile.
Wow.
It was. That was when she now started coming hard and issuing out that we can search it.
So again, like Jum is saying here, you can't control the comeback when you taunt someone first. Honestly, you can't control the comeback when you engage in fight with certain people. If you end up in the potok with a pig, even if the pig came for you first, you see how we tell ourselves some of these things. If you end up in the potok with a pig, all bets are awful.
I agree with you. That's how I feel.
So
that's why, since I'm not too mad at Dr. Kemi, because I feel like they've been coming at each other for years.
Yep.
Even knowing all of the trauma that Dr. Kemi has gone through with her family, she's been consistent. That's the one thing I don't believe she's lying about. She's
I mean, can we agree that she's a troubled person?
She's a troubled person.
Okay,
100%.
all right.
But can you imagine knowing that, and then Iyabo even tells her that she's crazy because it's things like that where Iyabo, I hold you in such high regards that I expect more. I don't expect Iyabo to be using mental health issues to insult anybody. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Iyabo Ojo does when she puts on her black bonnet. She has no, stick to the script. You have an issue, call people out. That's what she does, right? She likes to advocate for people, call people out, but she tends to just insult. The next thing she's speaking Yoruba, as if Yoruba will make it easier or make it land lighter. If anything, Yoruba makes it even land heavier. If anything, So that's the thing. Iyabo Ojo is not innocent. It's unfortunate, but most especially, what I'm going to end with is Iyabo knows, like Okobeno said, that a lot of people are against her, whether it's even for her advocacy work. You cannot be an advocate and people will not dislike you. First things first. Look at that issue with Baba Ijesha. There's people that dislike her just because of that, as if she did the wrong thing. As if she did the wrong thing. People dislike you. I would expect Iyabo to actually hold on to her family and put them inside. Priscilla does not need to make this marriage her personality. But like Uncle Beno said, it's a different generation. This is how we do internet. But she doesn't have to make that marriage her personality. I think it's important that they just enter inside. It's actually enough. You don't have to do everything so that they will have peace of mind. Peace is more profitable. So that's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Abby. Thank you. I think, obviously I'm not going to follow their story. I just won't. But I see more than enough. And obviously, naturally, people also take sides. based off of all they can see. A lot of time with the celebrities, we don't know all the way the behind the scenes of everything that happened between them, right? But you know where the scripture talks about I think the scripture talks about how God will punish a certain generation all the way to the fourth generation, right? You know, a lot of people don't know what that truly means. They're expecting, for me, what it means is that yes, you might have to answer to some of the sins of your parents,
Yeah.
but it's not just you or me. It's just a true phenomenon across the board, and that makes it fair. So how do we mitigate against not having to use our own life to fight the battles of our parents? That's the only solution here. Because if your parents have 3 major enemies, imagine that: Lisa Anjorin, a very dark man, and Kemi Olun, lawyer. None of these 3 people would I pray that any of my enemies will have in their circle. I'm sorry. I don't know who did what first. I don't care what they did to you. If you find yourself conducting yourself like that in public, either like very dark man, or like Lisa Anjorin, or like Kemi, I just don't want to be any part of it. I don't want to be in the position where I have to defend you as my cousin and you're one of those 3 people. So if your parent, your mother, happen to be enemies with those 3 people, I hope that she has enough support system around her to mitigate that. That's all I can say. Because she's also a celebrity in her own right, and I hope that she has enough capacity to carry it. You know, right now she's also enjoying the celebration of the news, the wedding, all that. I think she does a good job what she shows us. But oftentimes we also know that celebrities go back inside and have to battle depression and all kind of craziness. You know, but I'll give you one last word, Abby, so we can move forward. You're done, right? You're done with your take?
Yeah, pretty much. But I just wanted to say that what I've realized about a lot of these people is also the fan base. The fan base often don't help matters, right? Because I'll give you an example with someone like, let's use Wizkid and Davido. There's no real reason for them to have an issue. Think about it. What's the real issue here? But the fans will keep fueling. The fans keep fueling, and there's no need, right? For Priscilla, me personally, I'm an advocate for women, and I'm not going to advise any woman. I don't care how popular you are. I'm not going to advise anybody to make one thing their personality. It can be marriage, it can be your religion. One thing should not be your personality. So that's my own thing with Priscilla. Because now it seems as though for someone who's been doing so well in her space, in recent times, I know the wedding just happened. It seems as though everything is about her marriage for the most part, if that makes sense. So I just hope it doesn't continue. I hope it's a phase where, of course, I'm happy in my marriage. I'm happy, honeymoon phase. I hope they move on. Same thing with Juma as well. With every single thing that you guys achieve as a couple, are you going to drop a song? And then
I mean, I think they've been dropping songs for every announcement, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, so I mean, it's nice, but I'm just wondering if it also can be an issue, especially because, again, she's significantly younger. She might have way more to achieve, in my opinion. I just don't want her to make marriage happen. And it's nothing to do with Priscilla. I would take the same advice. I would say this to any woman. Don't make any one aspect of your life. Everything across the board should be balanced. Don't make one thing your personality. I have the same issue with people that are Christian and make their whole bio and their whole thing about Christianity, and there has to be a balance. Except that's your niche and you're here saying you're a preacher, that's different. But there are people that's how they package their life. I don't know if you saw that gist one time of an influencer that called her BBL a Christian BBL. Did you ever see that?
Who called her a Christian? Who called who Christian BBL?
There's this influencer that lives in America, a Nigerian girl. I can't remember her name now. She called Sophia something. I think Sophie something. She's a big influencer. She called her BBL Christian BBL. Are you see what I'm trying to say? Where?
Oh, I think I remember.
Yeah,
Something is coming back to me. Yeah.
Personality to be about one thing to the point where even things that don't concern Christianity now, you go call them Christian BBL. So people need to be able to pace themselves with their personalities. So that's what I'm going to say. But also, as fans, we might need to also help you educating our people. We talk about this with Rattle Gang all the time. You guys know your guide the truth. if a good percentage of his followers told him, VDM, you're going so far, he would not be as bad as he is right now. You know? So
Yeah,
you
but
can't-
why would me as just a social media fan tell him to stop when he's entertaining as hell?
no, not even not just stop, but we've been in comment sections where there's a good balance of negative and positive comments. That's what I'm saying.
Whose comment?
Generally, on social media, we've gone into people's comment section and we thought, wow, there's a good balance here.
Maybe maybe Dr. Kingsley Okonkwo's comment. Maybe even Auntie B, you can't really get a balanced comment like that. Maybe I'm trying to think of who. Even honest people tend to be skewed to one side. Usually.
Comment sections like that, not necessarily. I'm talking about mainstream.
Oh, in general. Okay, all right. Just in general. Okay.
Right. I'm not talking about people that have communities where,
yeah,
like Auntie B, they have a community that is strong. They believe the same thing that she believes because that's within the community.
Exactly.
Right? But there's people like VDM who I liked VDM in the beginning because what did I see? I saw someone that was fighting against things when NAFDAC is concerned. So there was a good reason to like him.
Fighting against oppressors at the time. Yeah.
At some point, I stopped liking him because I realized that this guy is misogynistic. He doesn't like women, and that's where he stopped. So for me, someone like me, if VDM continued on that NAFDAC thing, the most I will have to say on his comment section is good job on the NAFDAC thing, but maybe don't be as
He won't be as viral either.
But these are the issues.
Yeah.
So I feel like fans also, also contribute to this because I personally, I would not be able to say, somebody's child is disabled under anybody's comment section. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You won't even find my comments in these places in the first place. But I'm just even saying that I'll be the last person to go and now support and say somebody's child is disabled. Why would I use that sort of term? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The fans don't help.
A person that would use such term is obviously unstable too. At least in that moment, they were so pissed off that all bets were off, and they were willing to dig as low as possible. Right? It's not an excuse. It's just that tells all of us that we should probably check our anger and our emotions when we're dealing with this kind of stuff. Thank you so much, Abby. All right, we'll talk soon. So let's review it and then let's end the show. I'll be back soon. Is it too soon? The polls are saying 61% says no, it is not too soon for a baby. Oh, I'm so happy to see that because I agree. 39% say yes, it's too soon. And we had 23 votes. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, I'm with Toby and Tribe. We're really not in control of that. Let's just apply humility when we're if you get married and you're trying to decide if you should have a baby immediately or not. You get to decide what you want. It's just a preference. It doesn't guarantee a successful marriage at all. The earlier you learn how to manage tough times, crisis, moments that are not always favorable, the earlier you know how to manage that, the more successful your marriage will become. Okay, now you can learn that at any time. The best time to learn it is now. Okay, the best time is as soon as possible. In the beginning, the foundation. The next best time is like now. Okay, like now. Don't wait, because there's no guarantee that anybody has tomorrow. Does that mean you throw yourself into having babies as soon as possible? No, it doesn't mean that. I just want you to basically manage your expectations around all this pragmatic, numbered, analytical. When it comes to marriage is not your mate, just like anybody's life is not your mate. Okay, emotions no be your mates. Okay, so just know that and know peace. I want to say congratulations one more time to Priscilla and Juma Jukes. I want to encourage all the Priscillas and the Juma Jukes out there to make sure that they surround themselves with positive community, a good support system, because life is beautiful, but life can be life can be tough sometimes. That's actually what makes it beautiful, because you can have a frame of reference between good times and bad times, and you can appreciate good times even better, and you can build on top of it. And what you notice that the more you're able to appreciate the good times properly, proper appreciation for the good times, the more you replicate good times. But if you don't have bad times, how do you appreciate good times? It's literally impossible. Okay, so anything, while you're preventing bad things to happen, also learn how to appreciate good times. Spend more energy on appreciating good times, appreciating the good community around you, and then build more. Spend more time, be more intentional about building positivity around yourself. You don't have to be intentional about being negative. That's something that comes natural, believe it or not, to all of us. Why do we get entertained by toxic people? That's some negative shit, right? But effortlessly, we're entertained by wearies. So guess what? You need to apply pressure. Guess. Where do you need to apply pressure?
Everything I do, I will. Pressure to what?
You need to apply pressure in building positivity around yourself. You don't have to help negativity. There's more than enough of it around you. But you know how you help negativity? By putting all your focus on it, by becoming a police, a detective, by fighting your own battles all by yourself, by defending yourself in social media streets, similar to what Auntie Yabo Ojo is doing. You will attract more of it. You get it? I know your intentions is to fight the enemy away from your children.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
Yeah. But you're probably playing with your future. I'm sorry.
You they use your function to play.
Pay attention. So do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live. Yes, I'm back. I will drop some videos. Make sure you're engaging. Go watch my last 3 videos. I dropped the video that you missed out on. The video, the algorithms probably did not share with you. The video is called, She Fought Back, How She Saved Her Marriage After the Betrayal. Majority of you missed that video, so go watch it. Go under the video section on this channel and go catch up on that video. And when you're done watching it, leave a comment for me. Let me know that you've seen it. All right. And also, if you're looking for coaching, you're looking for our help, the place you want to go to is you want to access the coach and the books at manofprestige.com. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done it.